For young men like Joseph Frangos Young, bodybuilding is a healthy lifestyle choice.
You start to see your strength go up, which I think is the first thing that sort of gets you into it, because it's like you see something you couldn't do and then you can do it the next week, and it's like, whoa, like, that's pretty cool. Like, I wonder where that could take me. And yeah, I think that was sort of my original aspiration, just to be like a muscular guy, just because that's what I respected, I think, in other people. And I wanted that in myself. And yeah, did my first competition in April, which is at the Sydney Fitness Expo, which they have at Darling Harbour. It's a pretty good show. I won that one, which was really cool. The junior men division is like 21 years and under. Doesn't matter weight or height. So I won that one, and that qualified me for the show called the City National, which was held in Castle Hill, RSL. And I competed in junior men at that. I won that one, which was really great as well. And then after that, they qualified me for the World Championships, which was in Greece. I think the thirst to get bigger as you delve into it isn't as much as about the size as it is about the dedication required to achieve it. I think it's the thirst for sort of proving yourself to yourself. But then again, I'm sure there are a lot of guys out there, you know, who are just not happy because they want to be like the biggest guy, the biggest ape in the jungle. Like it releases certain endorphins in your body that make you feel good. So it literally does make you feel good. But also I think it's sort of the feeling of staying on track with something, because like you've done, you've come in and you've put another piece in the puzzle, sort of thing.
Joseph has experienced firsthand the effects of muscle dysmorphia.
I remember catching the school bus with him one afternoon, and he didn't think I heard him, but he was looking at himself in the reflection. I heard him muttering like, "Oh, I'm too small." And his arms were like massive, like holding onto the rail.
The Psychology of Sport and Exercise Journal has found that 21% of bodybuilders experience bullying as younger children.
I actually distinctly remember as a child in primary school being bullied. And actually, like I can vividly picture the thoughts in my head where I wanted to get really muscular and come to school and like go karate on all of them. Like I did experience those thoughts and bullying as a child. It does help a lot with your self-esteem. It just comes from, yeah, like I said before, the dedication. It comes from I know I'm a person that can commit to something. I know I'm a person that can push myself when I don't want to. I know I'm a person that can, just sort of go through the grind. And that's where it builds your self-esteem.
James Heathers is a professor of sports psychology at Sydney University. He links self-esteem issues with pathological exercise practices.
Something that is at the centre of a lot of various different eating and image disorders is a link between the behaviour that's considered to be pathological and self-esteem. So I don't think it's specific to bullying per se, as much as what the product of bullying is. And that is an assault essentially to the self-image. Forget about all the mechanism stuff. Is there endorphins? Is it the fact that you're getting out of the house? Is it the fact that you're achieving something during the day so it helps you structure your thoughts better? Completely separate issue to whether or not there's people with a body image disorder and it's the exercise is part of that. It's a reinforcing behaviour.
Mr. Heathers says body dysmorphia is difficult to define, but it is definitely an issue that is becoming more salient.
Especially with body dysmorphia, muscle dysmorphia, and other eating disorders as well. There is a point that isn't particularly well defined where you go from someone who cares about being thin, or cares about their body image, or someone who lifts weights, or even someone who uses chemical enhancement, from that into another area entirely where doing that is a source of distress and starts to ruin your life. It's not a good boundary that you can actually draw. It's a continuum of behaviour, and when people are distressed about it, generally the clinical idea at least, is to pull them backwards. Muscle dysmorphia from a research perspective is extremely interesting and relevant to right now, because it seems to be very much on the rise. People who've got body dysmorphia, the proper diagnosed version of body dysmorphia are continually preoccupied with their size, they're continually preoccupied with being lean.
Bill Lockley, on the other hand, is an athlete whose dedication to exercise has nothing at all to do with body image problems.
I just found myself, really cranky a lot of the time, and just feeling really deflated, and like everything was pointless. And it took a long time from actually being depressed to actually realize that no, this was depression. And the way I always seemed to be, one thing that always seemed to get me okay, or to level me off, or get me to a point where I felt like the world was all right again, was doing exercise. 2 or 3 months after that, I got the idea into my head to start Black Dog push-ups, to basically marry my love of doing push-ups with how much I hated depression. So I love push-ups, I hate depression. I was using one to fight the other. But the idea was I did as many push-ups as I could do in 3 hours. And that came to 3,615, as I recall.
Joseph Reardon, reporting for UTS News.